Okay, so we've got to talk about this. Nintendo just quote unquote dropped a 60-minute plus Nintendo Direct, ostensibly celebrating the 40th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers. Plenty to talk about here. Lots of games we kind of need to discuss. I guess we should start with the Mario stuff. John, where do we want to begin on this? Obviously, it's great to see that there's going to be Switch 2 upgrades for Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, right?
Yeah, sure. But of course, the big new Mario game was the new Mario movie. Pause. No, yes, that was a thing. And of course, once they showed, oh, the next movie is going to be Mario Galaxy, the movie, it makes sense then that they would go ahead and show Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. This is interesting because obviously they did that triple pack, right? Some time ago where it was Super Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy in a single pack, where they sold it for like a week and then it was over. and then, and then now they're bringing just Galaxy 1 and 2 together, and some might consider Galaxy 2 to be even better than the original. I go back and forth on that. They're both amazing games though. And I guess the disappointment for me is that this didn't lead to anything more. Like, I was kind of like, wait, are they going to do like a third Galaxy-like game? But the answer is no. It's just more versions. They do seem to be 4K. There does seem to be some changes to them that we noticed, just like, some updated UI stuff versus what they did on Switch. But I'm going to go ahead and guess that it's still running that sort of like emulation-based solution, where it's kind of like a hybrid of emulation and rendering. Which is not a bad solution. It actually works pretty well. So that's the first thing, right? Not much more to say until we test it. Then continuing with the Mazzer anniversary, we get to Super Mario Wonder, the Switch 2 edition, which, so it's not a huge thing. Like, they added a new area to it with some sort of mini game looking stuff, but I thought Super Mario Wonder it's probably my favorite Mario game from the last like couple decades. Actually, I really, really liked this game a lot. So I'm extremely happy to see it getting updated like this, and full screening it and looking at a glance, it does indeed seem to be native 4K now. So it'll be super sharp. It would be really cool if they would support 120 FPS though. I don't see why that wouldn't be possible actually, unless they really built this with just 60 in mind, which is possible. But, having this at native 4K is a nice thing. It should really bring out the art. It also fixed the scaling on the Switch 2 internal screen, because Mario Wonder doesn't look great on the Switch 2 as is when played on the portable with the way it upscales, versus playing it on an OLED Switch where it's like native res and really, really colorful and vibrant. So this will at least improve the scaling there, which is nice. So, and that was, I guess they also showed Mario Tennis in there, which, it had really nice grass. They did the kind of shell texture grass like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2X for the Xbox back in 2001. Now we have that on the grass in Super Mario and Mario Tennis. You can see I'm not like super buzzing about this because I don't really necessarily think they did super justice to Mario on this direct. Like, clearly they don't have anything ready to announce that's like proper new Mario. I mean, I guess Super Mario Wonder is still relatively new, and Donkey Kong Bonanza just came out. So the teams that would probably be developing a new Mario game essentially were all tied up. They've released their goods, and they probably don't have anything ready to go for Mario. It makes sense. So instead, though, we did get a look at Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. And this seems to be sort of like in the 2D Yoshi, like the crafted world. It all comes from Yoshi's Island, essentially. It's like everything that was born out of that offshoot of Mario. This is another one of those. But I will say, like, I feel like they were more successful than usual with like bringing over this fresh visual style. And that's so a lot of the recent Yoshi games have been very specifically focused on what if we built Yoshi characters and worlds out of like real like materials and did something there, and they usually looked very cool. So this one, of course, has its own new take where they kind of do that decimated animation approach, similar to, I mean, Mario Wonder actually does this too, but it just has this like sort of like modeled look to it where Yoshi almost moves like he's a real object on these like painted backgrounds, and it's truly beautiful, I think. But actually, I really like what I saw here, but I think who really wanted to talk about this more than myself actually is a special guest for this segment of the Nintendo Direct. Let me introduce him, everybody. It's Oliver McKenzie.
Yes,
Oliver.
John. Yes.
There it is.
I'm back.
Yes.
Yes. We figured Alex did not have a tremendous amount of interest in the Nintendo Direct, so I'm here just for this segment. Yes, briefly.
We told him to sit on the sidelines.
Yeah, I really do like these kind of like material oriented, kind of crafted 2D Yoshi platformers, because we've had like Yoshi's Woolly World back in like 2015, Yoshi's Crafted World in 2019, and now this. And I think it looks quite cool. It has this kind of picture book kind of appearance with this kind of pencil shaded kind of pastiche of drawn artwork. It reminds me a little bit of Hotel Dusk, very cool Nintendo DS game, or Valkyria Chronicles, another game that has a similar graphical style, I would say. And yeah, like you said, Yoshi has like these distinct action poses, but the animation for Yoshi kind of like vertically and horizontally is quite smooth. So the gameplay is preserved there, but you still get that sense of like these kind of bold keyframes, which is very cool. My only complaint here, I think it does look quite nice, is the image quality doesn't look amazing if you look closely. There's a lot of aliasing in the object outlines. The artwork here is not 2D, it seems to be 3D predominantly here, but it's obviously stylized and it's got these outline shaders and whatnot. It does look like they're using some kind of temporal image treatment, because the image does clean up a bit at rest, and it has some kind of characteristic fizzling and warbling around characters and motion that maybe is kind of like almost DLSS-like or DLSS light-like perhaps. But I did count one shot, and it didn't count at a very high resolution. It counted at 540p, so I'm kind of wondering, early stuff could be handheld, could be whatever, but just something to note here. But I definitely think like this kind of material-oriented 2D Yoshi platformer kind of genre that Nintendo has pioneered is a really cool genre. They're very breezy games. They're very fun games. And I'm definitely going to look forward to playing this game in 2026, because they're just very enjoyable, very relaxing little platformer adventures.
Absolutely. I think it looks gorgeous. Yeah, what can I say? Slightly disappointing that there was no new Mario game announced, but, in the absence of that, I think this is like absolutely charming and visually arresting. I can't wait to see more on this one.